where I've had to fake hype at Flashpoint. Envy
Okay.
versus Contact, for example.
Okay.
I may have sounded excited on the desk. I wasn't really. Heroic versus G2, this is not the case. I am actually really stoked about this. We've got some great teams here, and both of them are at the top of their game right now.
Indeed, they are. Heroic will have 3 players on Banana, looking for a little something. Refresh moves back for the pop flash. He's holding it. It's being deployed, and here comes the swing from Storm. Oh my god, Tesses deleted behind Storm's shoulder. And there may be no response from Heroic just yet. 2-2 set up now for Heroic, because it looks like it will be a longer pistol round from G2. Not going crazy with this one kill. Maybe some respect being shown by either side here. Got Cadian with the CZ75 in Boiler. CZ057 is good, of course, if you are expecting a number of players to come your way, but it seems that on this occasion it will be the B bomb site. Flashes being held. Chain flashes, as we can see. There's the first one.
Oh, nice layering there. Stown pressured, but he's going to actually push in front of the smoke briefly, leaving just Refresh on the site, and Nex is able to take him down. 3 versus 5 situation. It will be the full retake to come out, and there's no kit actually for Heroic right now. This is going to be very difficult for them. They're going to have to find some shots and find them quickly. It looks like Cadian's position is already actually maybe calling for a save here. Been seeing these kind of plays more and more lately. Nico boosted at new box here. He should peek up. He's going to be able to find one. Actually, no, it's Hunter that gets that kill. And Cadian will actually just save that CZ into the upcoming round. Looks like he's actually trying to find some damage here. He better run away to keep 100 armor if he's actually interested in doing that. No, he actually just wants the kills, and he's only able to find the one. G2, 1-0 start.
Start as you mean to go on. Look, man, I'm just excited when it's... Do you know what? Okay, Alex, right. So, finally I have some proper competition with predictions. Because I destroy everybody on a regular basis unless I start to troll, right? I'm just excited. You know, I want to talk some smack. I want to get people involved as much as possible. I don't even know. I haven't seen the table. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we haven't seen the leaderboard for a bit here.
Yeah, I don't know if they can put that up on the screen a little later on, but
I think you're still smashing.
I mean, that much is probably true, but I want to see what the lead is. You know.
Yeah, I feel like you're ahead by like 1,500 or something right now.
But there's plenty of days to come.
Yes.
You won last time, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to win this time.
All right.
I need this. I need this, Alex.
All right. Heroic, they feel like they need it too. Cadian here challenging the angle, will be forced off, but the main play is towards the A site. A great setup on the short side from Heroic at this point. G2's trying to find out, is there really a threat at B? Cadian showed himself earlier, and now Jax, he's very wary of these angles. They will use some utility to try to make their lives easier. But it looks like Tess is actually rotating over, and now Cadian, there might be a gap in that smoke, actually. He's holding it, as a matter of fact. It's a very slim one at that.
Yeah, I made myself a lineup with this particular smoke where I just stand against this wall and point at a particular brick just to make it more consistent. But, you know, when you throw that smoke, unless you do it from Banana, you're exposed, so you kind of just want to get it deployed quickly. Oh, Cadian's going for a spicy one. Massive swing. He could get a bunch here, but Nico will be able to trade. That's a lot of information, however, but it is a long rotation from Heroic. They're simply out of position. However, Tesses has a chance now. 18 seconds. It can really make things a little weird. He's overperformed in this case. 13 seconds, bomb not planted just yet, and Heroic are a little closer. Hunter has some high ground, but so many angles to check as well. Refresher smoke to try and create some space. Really trying to stop that bomb plant. 2 versus 1. How has this happened? Headshot angle from Shush, and Heroic will steal the second round.
That was such a good retake smoke from Heroic there, and really nice pop flash to give him that early information. Even though Cadian's only able to find the one, it made the rotation so quick. But we have to give credit to Tessis in this round. Not only did he set Cadian up, but he overperformed by finding 2 kills there at the new box.
That's way more than is reasonable to ask from a player in such a situation. The B-bomb site low time, it's got to be a nightmare for Nico. He's been here before.
You've seen it firsthand.
Indeed.
Yeah, we're seeing it once again. But the body shots coming out. We're seeing these more and more now in Counter-Strike. Just how deadly that Deagle is when you're aiming for the tummy, giving him a little bit of a stomach ache.
Yeah, just below the Kevlar, 2 shots and the player is done. But if you hit that Kevlar, you might require a third one. So you need to be very specific. That's a false start from G2.
They'll still invest in this one. And Jax, he's pressing on forward so quickly. Catches down. Oh, what a great flash from Amanek there. Double entry from Jax. And now the B bomb site is ripe for the taking. This is looking like Heroic already have to call for the save. Just excellent nade procedures for G2 there. And this is one of the reasons that they can be so deadly. I mean, they're not just going to throw themselves at any issue, at any engagement. They're always going to use good utility. And on top of that, Jax is looking like he's in excellent form right now. He is so swift. His time to kill right now is probably the fastest I've ever seen from him in particular.
Yeah, that timing was utterly sublime. G2 not done with this one just yet. Seems that we will trade frag somewhat. Will be essentially a reset of this scenario in the next round, with Heroic saving 3 rifles. So things are getting interesting early. Cadian with the MP9. Sure he'll be upgrading later on. Still not refresh yet to reach the scoreboard, but it is extremely early here. And my voice is going crazy.
Yeah, and we'll see the back and forth continue between both of these squads. Generally speaking, these kind of engagements or these kind of battles for economy will favor the terrorists, and usually it'll be them who end up weathering the storm. But Heroic, I mean, they'll keep at it. They're not going to let go of this one so easily. And we'll see upgrades as there is an MP9 purchase. Looks like FAMAS as well for them. And early utility is saying that Heroic really want control of this banana area. Oh no, they've overlooked Jax. You can't be serious right now. Tessus doesn't actually clear the half wall completely, and Jax keeps pressing on forward. He spots a couple of players right now, but Nico, he's right behind that smoke, can't find the trade just yet. Yeah,
he saw 2 or 3 there, well, at least 2 for sure. So I would expect a fast response from G2 towards the A bomb site if they can get into position fast enough. Speaking of which, Heroic now with a second man considering making a play through the smoke. He will with a flashbang, but be deleted. Amanek with a superior position. Shush now is surrounded, but he needs to try and stay alive here, wait for that smoke to go, wait for his teammates to be able to run distraction. I'm not sure if they even know he's here yet, but until they clear the pit, they must assume that it could be compromised. Looking for angles as the Molotovs are deployed into the site, and indeed that pot flash will tell a story. G2 know that Shush is there. Awkward angles for all concerned, and he's at the point of no return. Down he goes, rifle collected for G2. They win the consecutive round, it looks like. Cadian with not much to do now. Maybe he looks for an upgrade in an exit, but I don't think that's going to happen either.
That was so well put together, James. The way that they hightailed it towards A as soon as they knew that there were a couple players towards B. Not only did they beat the rotation, but the way that they isolated the player in pit as well. I mean, he was there for such a long time, yet G2 were okay with that. They planted the bomb on the other side of default, away from the pit position. Amanek isolated the fights towards Moto first, and then they dealt with him, the pit player later. That is just, I mean, G2 right there, putting themselves in a position most teams would not be comfortable with.
Well then, it's going to be a very hard start to the CT side for Heroic, it looks like. Oh, is that deep smoke grenade that we see? Indeed, this is an evolution. And when the buy rounds come for Heroic, I do wonder if we'll see the HE grenades going down towards T-Ramp. Seen those earlier in this tournament. Very spicy grenades indeed. But for now, it is just a smoke and nothing more. Another pop flash being held by Refresh towards the B bomb site, and Nico with more anti-eco nightmares getting picked off from the apartments.
Yeah, just a dry peek from Tessus there. Pays off for him. Now, there are still a couple players here that Jax will have to challenge, and he's by himself. This is a little bit worrying. So he'll back off of the angle, recognizing that his life is not worth just prodding for information. And it looks like the main G2 attack will be towards the A side. Got the standard molly there. Tessus tries to fire a pop shot before retreating. And G2 have now taken bracket control. This is going to force out the rotation from Heroic, but it looks like G2 are peeling off. And this is a great call because they understand the likely Heroic rotations, as Cadian is now the only player towards this B bomb site. A decent nade to do a little bit of chip damage, but still a lot of work for Cadian here. He has to come up big for his team, or this B bomb site is right for the taking again. And Omnic will quickly take him out.
But look at the clock. I'm trying not to say. We're Fresh is on the B bomb site, and he's dead now, of course. Heroic have lost position. They've got a rifle to save on Shush. Galil's got better armor penetration in the M4A4, so if you're comfortable enough with the spray, then it can be an interesting weapon. I believe it fires slightly slower, but definitely one to hold on to if you can. And he will be in a more passive position towards the A bomb site. G2 move to 4. A roaring start, and again, I think this is a very interesting matchup. And I was having a conversation with Freya about this yesterday, and when they last played each other in the different rosters and so on. So I think this will be very mentally stimulating for the viewers at home. Let me know how you guys are watching the broadcast today. Send me pictures of your setup. Send me pictures on the Twitter, and maybe I'll retweet them.
G2 has been doing a great job at getting into the B side. I keep saying it's ripe for the taking. I mean, I'm curious, James, have you ever had a Mara de Bois strawberry? Usually ripe around this time. Maybe a month from now in California.
I don't live in a world where things are seasonal anymore, sadly. So I don't even know when things are in season.
That's what globalism does.
I know, it sucks, to be honest.
Well,
but I don't know, I've had strawberries before. Some more expensive than others. That's all I can tell you. Jax will look to turn Heroic into fruit, maybe, on this B bomb site. We've got a 3-man setup early, and Heroic being patient. Haven't used too much utility. We see there are gaps in the smoke once again. TSS ready for the pop flash. Jax could be instrumental here, though, but Storm is looking for it. But if he chooses to delve into the depths of Banana, he could be in trouble. Spotted by Jax. There'll be a counter flash, and oh, got a tap from Jax. He won't expect the third player, but it's been a whiff. Cadian will hold on to the area, however, just about. Half blind, but he has a chance. The bomb still towards the A bomb site. Hasn't been seen by Heroic just yet. And they're not rotating, but they are looking to find out what's happening towards top mid.
Cadian barely surviving there with 20 HP. But Heroic, they're in a desperate position now. They have to try to find some information. They're still standing their ground here towards short. Shush in front of the molly is able to find Amanek. Can't really challenge the player down mid, but Hunter may have found an opportunity here. This is a great timing for him. Double swing it towards the middle. And Refresh, he will only able to find the one. And it looks like at this point, Cadian has to save. That double entry from Jax was phenomenal. That was some of the quickest shooting I have seen lately. Jax feels just so on point. He is just so exceptional right now. There's not a lot that you can even really do about that if you're the Coffins player. You want to swing for the trade. He's out in the middle of the open, but you get your head tapped right off. It's just no counterplay.
Yeah, Jax making a name for himself. Always been surrounded by bigger names. That was always an interesting problem in North America, for example, or at least where we are right now, in that there'd be a recycling of the usual names with the same or similar results. But the new breed of talent that has come in, got to carve out some names for themselves in a very star-studded game of Counter-Strike. Maybe it's time for Jax to be more recognized for his efforts. That second kill was disgusting. 5-1, 4 rounds in a row for G2. Nothing really of note that we've seen from Heroic just yet. Not many buy rounds, of course, with the force buys and such. Oh man, that's like, fair enough, have a nice day. What can you do?
Yeah, if your test is in that position, you just
have to respect
sit back. Yeah, you just relax in your chair, say, on to the next round. See the Heroic camp is thinking this one over, using a tactical timeout at the moment. And Cadian, he's trying to find an answer here, but G2 have been relentless. The banana control has been strong for the primarily French side. So perhaps an option towards apartments, maybe bracket.
What do you think the sign says? Eat, sleep. I think it says eat, sleep, guacamole.
Fortnite, repeat.
Fortnite.
Rave, repeat. I don't know. I'm just copying what I see at malls on T-shirts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We have the hero AWP for Heroic on the CT side. Kaden looking towards top mid at present while his team start to make inroads to aggress. There will be a trade test. Fully outstays welcome. Really fishing for that second kill, and he is also running distraction, as we can see. Refresh looking for an opportunity. Now, these pistoling players can't die too fast and leave Kaden alone. He needs them alive. The threat of these players bursting out has to be there for G2 in order for Heroic to be successful, in most cases at least. We know Kaden can do it on his own, as we've seen recently. Not going too far, waiting for a T to make their way towards the bench. Has a quick look, and Nico's been very patient indeed. Kaden gets blasted, and the Molotov will try to stop the AWP from being collected, but Refresh has already got it.
Yeah, but at this point, G2 4v2 situation. Curious that they're still going to where the AWP dropped. So there is an opportunity for a refresh here. This round isn't over just yet. And Refresh, I've seen him pop off a couple of times with the AWP, but he's putting himself in a position that may be easily traded as he pushes down the hallway. This is so patient from G2 and so thorough, but oh wow. Okay, the trade is there. That took a little longer than I expected, but at the same time, it's a free A-bomb site. Stown with just a deagle is looking to get on the scoreboard here, so can imagine that he'll try to find something. No real reason to try to take this deagle into the next round. They'll be buying either way.
I think he's got a good chance of getting the AWP here. With only 3 players alive for G2, it's kind of iffy to be in apartments to try and collect it. I mean, to protect it, rather. They may not want to have an AWP on the T side. Again, it's a lot more effective after planting the bomb on Inferno specifically. See if Nico heads towards... he knows what might be happening, so the gun will be protected after all. And there it is, 6-1 for G2. This is a stonking start to the T side of Inferno.
Yeah, they're flying right now. And Heroic, they tried something different in that round, and I appreciate that. The pushes down mid with the deagles, the aggressive apartments positioning, but it just wasn't quite enough. And overall, great shot from Nico there. A single tap on Acadian. He's been delivering that for, what, 6 years now? And I never get tired of it.
I think Nico's got an... Is it called an ionizer? Those air purifier things behind him. Those could be really good. Many a dusty room for gamers. Well, then there'll be no initial challenge on Banana from G2. We'll see if that changes later on. Cadian starting to creep, but Nico is ready. Nico's just waiting for Cadian to take picks and move into angles. That's another successful round from him, of course. There was the headshot with the Hero AWP, and it's been dropped again on this occasion. Heroic, not shy to be aggressive, but they haven't had much in the name of control. You can see G2 are looking for that aggression and delivering, and they'll use the time as they can as well, being patient, looking for Heroic to respond.
All 4 players from Heroic have rotated towards A at this point. G2 are trying to just make a standard mid-round going up towards this bomb site, but they're running into a stack, as a matter of fact. Although Heroic have somewhat peeled off. Great utility from G2 to kind of push Heroic back in this position, and Heroic didn't trust their stack. They actually completely rotated, leaving just Refresh and Shush on this bomb site. They're going to have to come up huge, but that's a perfect flash, actually, and Jax is able to take down both yet again. This guy is on fire with the entry frags right now, and there's nothing left for Heroic to do in this round.
Yep. 10-4-3. And Heroic have to ask themselves how they take control. Banana wasn't really challenged at the beginning from G2. They wait for Acadian peak. That seems to be the main aggressor. Obviously, the AWP makes sense. But Nico's ready for it. He's picking the right angle, the right place every time, catching Acadian off guard. And then after that, Heroic are trying to play catch-up and not really having much chance of that. We move to a 7-1 scoreline for G2. The odds were really good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at those odds and I was like, dude, how can I not pick G2?
Yeah, it felt like a coin flip to me as well.
Yeah.
So, and G2 have been looking like they've been getting better. They've solidified their roles a little bit more. And one thing I have liked so far in this game a lot is that Nico hasn't opted yet, actually. That's something of note. That kind of earlier in this 5-man lineup, he was picking it up a lot on the T side. But look at the damage he can do with a rifle. I don't want to see him opt. Maybe I'm getting my bias a little bit too forward here, but I just, the way he is opening up parts of the map with the rifle has been just so strong for G2, and honestly, I could argue for him more on the CT side than the T side of this map, opping.
There we go. Heroic taking the fight to G2. Some shortcomings with the MP9 and the FAMAS, but that is a great start. Again, that is the silent way to get into the apartments. Your teammate stands on the barrel, so you don't make that step when you're jumping. Small attention to detail. G2 not wanting to give anything up here. Nico looks like he may be getting into position to flash his teammates. There we go. There it is, and here's the burst. 2 plays in the pit, however, could be a problem. Armnek not ready for the first. The bomb lost as well. It goes from bad to worse for G2 in round number 9. Next will be heard. Shush able to deal with the angle being held. That leaves Nico in a 1 versus 5. Plenty of this in his mouth era. And it begins. He has 1 minute on the clock, and this is a man you do not want to give opportunity to.
Looks like he'll be rerouting. Might find some kind of opportunity towards B in this one. A flank on Testis, perhaps. Doing damage is still incredibly valuable here. You can see that the G2 economy is booming at the moment, so every single frag that Nico finds actually is worth its weight in gold. So it looks like he might have some kind of opportunity, a window perhaps. Tessis seems unwary of this possibility so far, but this should be a 3v for Nico. Nice shot there. Challenges Refresh, but Refresh just tucks down. Only 10 seconds remain. No chance for Nico to win this, but still some damage to potentially do. The swings come out. Another tap from Nico. Just 1 bullet is all he needs, and he eliminates Shush there. And want to give a shout out to Alan, though, because in the pregame, he actually highlighted that exact play, that exact Halls pop from G2. Thing is that last time around, it was against FaZe. Twist was right on the balcony getting full blinded. This time around, great setup from Heroic, just a double pit. And it's probably one of the more underrated site setups on A, and Heroic used it to its full effect.
Yeah, he really squeezed the lemon there, Nico. 2 more kills out of that. Cost Heroic $12,000. Leaves them very light after their buy. So again, we've got Heroic trying to show some aggression at the beginning of the round. We'll see what Jax chooses to do in terms of a response. 4 players towards B at present. 1 stuck behind the sandbags. Needs some help, and help comes, but to no avail. The transfer is there. We've got plenty of flashbangs from both directions. And Storm able to get a second and keep it competitive. 3 versus 3. Bomb still not spotted down at T ramp at present. And Cadian waits on the B bomb site.
Those are Stound's first 2 kills of the match, but they couldn't have come at a better time. 3-on-3 situation. It's something for Heroic to work with, and they need to pick up some steam here. So far, this has not been an acceptable half, and Cadian, though, plays right around the smoke, still maintaining this control. Despite all of the smokes that G2 used, Cadian didn't move a muscle. He still has all of the information, as there is not a single player from G2 who is even contesting him. And it seems like at this point, Heroic, they should know what's coming. But, oh wait, what's this? Are G2 actually making their way back to B? No, they're actually separating.
.25 seconds on the clock. Where is this bomb headed? This is going to be a really late one. Trying to offer a fake is Nexa with some utility towards B. But Heroic is so far away, they'll just hold position. Armanek now with 12 seconds. Just poking, prodding, trying to make his way to the site. He's not going to have time to plant the bomb here. This is really laboured from G2. They just waited too long. Transfer from Refresh is disgusting. They'll have to be a little sharper with the clock here, G2. Heroic get their consecutive round. 3 players alive. And G2 will have to splash the cash for this one. Again, the kills from Nico will certainly help with things in the long term. But I think G2 made it a little easy there towards the end for Heroic.
Yeah, that was a really curious mid-round from them, just taking that much time. I guess they assumed that... I actually can't even justify that one, so I'm not even going to attempt it right now. As Cadian challenges down Banana, but Jax is just... The foresight of this man is unparalleled. I don't know how he is actually guessing where all these players are. It feels like every game now he's finding a blind kill, a kill through smoke. This guy is watching his demos, that's for sure. He knows the tendencies of his opponents to the point where he is guessing where they are through smoke. Even then, almost guessing that Stown is going to be there then. He's so scary right now if you are against him in the server.
Wonder if G2 will pick up the pace late on in the half, but for now it continues slow. Refresh has to abandon ship. Shish unable to do so though. Hunter coming through from the back, and there are problems here for Heroic once again. Coffers are broken, and there's not much the B players can do. 2 versus 5, lost position. It is about self-preservation, and Jax is on the hunt. G2 moves to 8, really setting the pace well. This must be very uncomfortable for Heroic, the pace that G2 are playing at the moment. Perhaps a slight error with time in the round prior, but this one will be flying colours for G2, 5 players alive. Indeed chasing now the final Heroic plays. They really need to save this AWP if they can. You can do a lot with just an AWP, but that looks unlikely as they are absolutely surrounded. 4 of the 5 players coming for them. The Hyenas are here. Moving in the pack, 66 HP for Tesses. Really holding on to this M4. Good job with that at the very least, but Heroic have got to find something to stop the bleeding in this CT half.
Yeah, they're not really winning any sort of control thus far. Jax has been a menace towards Banana. The mid protocols and nades from G2 are just devastating in terms of the space that they're taking there. There's no real answer right now for Heroic if you're going for conventional methods. It feels like the primary points of emphasis for most teams have just not been working, but they're going to try something new. A mid push is actually going to give them some space towards alt, and this might be what they needed. Just change it up completely, throw the rulebook out, but no, G2 still are able to hold on to this space. Now, Cadian, oh, was he thinking?
He's looking for a push through the smoke while he's reloading his pistol. So he's trying to bait there. And you could body block as well. He was close enough, so that was pretty smart from him. Again, you never want to unload your entire magazine right next to a smoke because you could be punished. But he did it on purpose. Still alive now, Cadian. Have a look at the health on all 3 players here. Everybody is in a one-shot scenario, no headshots required. The bomb is on T-ramp. They've got to go back and get it. You can see Armanek just holding now, as is Nexa. Cadian's wondering, why hasn't the bomb been planted? And he may realize eventually they probably don't have the bomb, but the crouch peek from Nexa is fast enough to win the round for G2. Nervous towards the end, but a round is a round.
I'm loving the mid-rounds out of G2 right now. It feels so decisive, and when they have man advantage situations, they are outplaying their opponent. They're making it so difficult on players like Cadian in that moment to try to find anything. Cadian's wondering, why are they not on the bomb site? He's wondering, did they reroute to B? He's prodding for a little bit of information, and that late swing from Nexa, there's just, Cadian's, it's so hard to remain that focused for that stretch of time, and it's always going to be hard on him there. Even if they aren't playing in such a deliberate fashion. So now G2 look like they may be able to collect a freebie here. There's still some deagles on the side of Heroic, but the utility game, okay,
Ooh.
Well, that's a great start.
That is not too shabby at all. I don't think they'll rescue the weapon, though. I'd imagine it'll be thrown over the wall at some point. But it's nice, but is it just cosmetic damage for G2? That is the question. 1 minute 15, we see things get a little scary in terms of the late round in these anti-ecos from G2, but it is by design for the most part. So I'm sure they're comfortable. Heroic still waiting for an aggression towards upper mid. I would imagine we'll see some kind of jiggle peek from the A players at some point. There's a pop flash. No one fires a shot though. What does that mean? What does that flashbang mean for Heroic? There's the peek from Refresh top mid, but they're never going to get to B in time. Nico waiting though, looking for a response. It's giving Heroic time to make a counter flash play. Any shenanigans they had in mind, but they've lost position now. 2 kills on the flank, and maybe it's a rotation to the A bomb site that G2 need. Heroic are certainly doing the same, but G2 are close enough to hear that rotation. You can see them in the smoke creeping through now, but Refresh is still here, and again, the time on the clock is so low. He's just got a great angle by Coffins, but I think in many cases he lands a shot there. He misses completely somehow from point-blank range, and 8 seconds on the clock as G2 plant the bomb anti-eco. Is it nervous to watch that?
Yeah. I mean, there's always an opportunity there. If he finds a couple of stomach shots, couple of headshots consistently, there is always a way. That's what makes Counter-Strike such a brilliant game. The fact that any round can turn on its head at the drop of a hat. But G2, they're looking so thorough right now. Even the way that they threw those smokes and just waited for the reaction of Heroic is just... They are mind-controlling Heroic right now to do exactly what they want them to do. And it's making this game so tough on Heroic mentally speaking, because it feels like every move and reaction is being read. Tess is here trying to find some damage, but it looks like it'll actually be G2 that pick up the kills. Actually, the bomb got 1. So the bomb right now has a 1.0 KD.
The bomb has the 1.0 KD. That's not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Have you renamed your bomb in your inventory?
No, I have not.
Mine has a name tag on it that says "Clear the site first" in capital letters.
My friend actually named his bomb after one of my relationships because it was just explosive and bad. So
because you're toxic.
It was a toxic relationship. Yeah. Was it just me? That's who's to say.
That sounds kind of toxic.
Okay. All right.
What do you think, guys? Is Alex potentially toxic in relationships? I lost your girlfriend, actually.
Yeah. Well,
she's really nice. I like her a lot.
I'm glad.
Yeah, don't like everyone's girlfriend.
She appreciates your company.
She gets a big thumbs up.
Cool.
4-4 in terms of personnel. That's a big grenade. Hunter, though, is still alive. Maybe you're a reformed toxic person.
Perhaps.
I don't think. I know. I can't see it. We like Alex. He's nice. 50 seconds on the clock. And Heroic and G2 certainly have a toxic relationship on the server. Communicating via weapons. Heroic, wherever G2 choose to go, defense will be difficult because there's only 2 players there. Cadian and Refresh moving into a crossfire scenario, trying to buy time. Not much of a rotation just yet. Storm just poking on Banana somewhat, but I don't think that they'll rotate in time to help their teammates. 24 seconds on the clock and Tessus is on the way. G2 again with a very low round, but there's a lot of utility here, which is kind of telling a story. Cadian posting up now, and indeed a third man is in position. Tessus coming through the library, and Thorn's going down mid as well. Well, the kills are going in favor, but they've got to get on this bomb plant. 5 seconds, and indeed they've run the clock down too low. And Storm just going to have time to win this one. Again, that clock is looking very dangerous. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't.
Everything went so well for G2 there, except for the time. They baited out the nades, they found the kills, but just no one ran to the bomb immediately. I don't know if they didn't recognize that the bomb carrier died at that point, but Heroic, they're going to be wiping a little bit of sweat off their brow there. This has been just such a strong performance from G2, and the way that they are still manipulating Heroic by throwing their nades, waiting for the counter utility from Heroic, and then hitting once again after the counter utility comes out is incredibly impressive, and I have to give a lot of props to Nexa, to whoever is mid-rounding, that probably Nico has some input there as well, to Malik. Everyone that contributed to this kind of game plan they deserve a lot. It feels like they deserve this half at least.
Yeah, it is very difficult to deal with. And again, the silent boost into the apartments. They are giving minimal clues away, G2, and it seems like in the last round, they may change the pace once again. A second attempt at the balcony push, and Heroic this time out of position. The bomb's been dropped on the short, though. That's going to be an issue. Hunter creeping out, but Refresher's the most awkward angle possible. Amanek and Nico have a lot to do here, and not much help to do it with. Amanek swinging now with the flashbang. 2 targets, can't quite finish off either of them. Transferred before the job was done on target 1. And there will be some recovery from Heroic towards the end. 2 rounds in a row to make it 5-10 of G2. An excellent half from G2. We'll see if Heroic can have the same on their T side after the break. G2 won their T-side pistol, then got reset by Heroic, and then reset straight back. What will the second half pistol look like? Now is the time to find out. No P250s in the hands of Heroic. 5 Glocks on deck. Refresh and Cadian will have utility. And it looks like they will read some potential aggression from Banana, setting up for a double peak. We saw a drawn-out pistol round in the first half, and it may be the same in the second.
Keeping the pace in check. Heroic taking their time, trying to find out if there's any sort of play from G2 that they can just counter. It looks like Tessus will spot a couple of players in apartments. That's going to be a lot of information for Heroic, and you can see that they're speeding up now towards B. There's enough utility for them to go for a B exec at this point, but there's no one actually on the bomb site. So despite using all of their smokes, they are being flanked at the moment. Amanek taking his time with this one, and Nexa trying to find something through the smoke. Won't be able to connect, but this nade should be able to inflict serious damage on to the bomb planner in refresh. Almost gets the kill. 12 health left.
Chunks.
Now Heroic, they know they have to do something. They probably have to find some control towards construction at this point. And everybody from G2, with the exception of Nexa, is coming from Banana.
They've got a coffin smoke if they want it. There it is. Coffin smoke deployed. They've got counter flashes, but there will be a wall up for these players to start to move in. Nexa doing a good job so far. It's got some information, but who's going to defuse the bomb? It's got to be Nico. He's got a smoke and defuse kit. The CT's all over the site now, running distraction. The defuse has begun, and all of the Heroic players have been dropped. G2 moved to 11 rounds. No T-pistol for Heroic.
It really doesn't feel like in this game Heroic is doing a lot wrong. It's just that G2 is doing so much right. They are in these great setups. They're catching Heroic every single time, and this pistol is just showing that once again. It's reiterating the point of the first half that it feels like Heroic are making some strong plays. G2s are just a little stronger.
Got a lot of HEs for G2. Again, this forward smoke persists from team to team. I like how both teams are doing the silent boost into apartments as well. Not everybody can be bothered with that. Yeah, Cadian will be the man to hop on the barrels, and then Tessus will stand on his head, and there's no sound cue into the apartments.
Yeah, all of that information matters. It allows the IGLs to have better reads of the situation, but oh, that's a slightly botched smoke from one of the B site players.
Botchamania.
Yeah, that's gonna give some information to Stound, but it doesn't look like Heroic are interested in abusing that kind of info regardless. Now, Amanek and Nico look to be making a proactive play towards Banana, but the majority of the hit from Heroic is towards the Arch side. They will spot out Hunter, and Stound's really making his presence known towards B. Chunky
That's so unlucky.
nade onto Stound. This is actually going to make it pretty favorable for Nico. Finds the dink, but actually still no kill. 9 HP left, and now Heroic, they pretty much have to commit towards B.
With the presence shown by Heroic on long, Storm was trying to catch them, or third man rotating towards that A-bomb site. Unlucky with the grenade, but still delivered. Like this bait setup, but it looks like G2 could be in trouble. A run boost over the smoke towards B on Inferno. Don't see that one every day. Tessus will be barbecued, but the bomb site's being taken. Armanek still here, however. Cadian running distraction in the meantime. Jax will surely get a kill here. Just give him a few seconds to move away, and down he goes. 2 versus 2 retake. No kits for the remaining players. Perhaps there's one on a site. Armanek creeping forward now. Heroic both in the same position. Are we playing a bait setup as well? Jax starts to creep in. Easy headshot for Shush, who's low on bullets. But Armanek is low on opportunity. Has no idea where the second player is. There's Shush deleted. Still doesn't have a kit either. So even if he gets both kills, has he got an opportunity to defuse the bomb? Looking for a kit. Not going to find one. Oh, there it is. Has he got time? Oh, I don't think he has. It's going to be close.
It's close. Oh, it's so close. No. Oh, wow.
It's unfortunate. I don't use the music to give cues as to when it's too late, but I feel like I have a good read on.
The music isn't perfect, by the way. It's not. It sometimes starts a couple ticks earlier or later at times, so you can't always use it to be 100% certain.
I can't play Counter-Strike with any sort of music on, even in menus.
Even in deathmatch, you're just full volume.
Well, the in-game music,
Yep.
just not a thing.
Right.
It's offensive to me.
Yeah.
I'm an old school player. I can't be doing this music stuff. I can understand it though. Lots of people do use it for the bomb, but I mean, I've played enough Counter-Strike to know when I can defuse it or not.
Yeah.
For the most part. But that's a rough one for G2. But great for Heroic. So indeed, we do have the reset. It is a mirror in that respect, but G2 much worse off as they are on the receiving end on their CT side. Which means their lost bonus is in the bin. This is a huge run for Heroic to collect if they can. TeSeS may be the man to make space, swinging with a Mac 10. Some spray towards the old car position. No car there anymore. So we've got a swing on Banana. Could be some action in the apps at the same time. Area control from Jax. That is not a challenge you want to make. Not sure if you read 1 or 2 players in the apartments. 2-2 set up from G2. Wherever Heroic will choose to push, they should have an advantage. But we'll see if their time management is as good as G2's was for the most part.
Jax is being so mobile in this round. It's almost like he has an op with how much he's just repositioning himself, but if he had an op, maybe he would have found that kill. Shush able to take him down, leaving simply Amanek here in the mini pit position. Might be good for one, but Heroic already have complete control of the bomb site, and Shush, he is able to find him. So now G2 will probably save their deagles into the upcoming round. Heroic will be able to find a 7th, and we've got a game on our hands here as Heroic are beginning to pick up some momentum and fight back.
Very coordinated effort from both these squads. A lot of respect on the server, a lot of big names on the server. Is it fair to say that Kaden is now a big name? Like, he's a name that he's been around for a long time, and again, he has had an incline. But I feel like he's a hell of a lot closer to the top than he used to be.
I think the casual fan may not have known who Cadian was 3 years ago when he was on Rogue, per se. But now I think if you even have just tuned into a top CS game in the last year or so, you've seen Cadian. You've seen his name. You've heard his story. We're not shy to tell and talk about this man who was working on the streets of Fairfax, recording an iPhone video after Flashpoint 1, or during his stay at Flashpoint 1.
Half naked.
Yes.
He was half naked.
Wearing a backpack.
There's a lot of half-naked people out here, like in Santa Monica and stuff, right? And he was one of them.
Yeah. He just looked like anybody else. But now look at him.
Yeah.
At the top of the world.
I think that that clutch, that tournament-winning clutch was a big moment for him. And we spoke about Jax earlier and his performance in this round. You know, I'm a person who likes to talk about Refresh a lot and what he's capable of potentially, but you need to have those big moments to make a name for yourself. So despite having been in the game for a fair amount of years, those moments are what will really put you on the map. Make you a household name. So you're not just known in the streets of Los Angeles half naked, but more than that. There is Jax again. Boosted in Boiler, catching TeSeS off guard. They'll fall back. No weapon retrieval to be attempted. They've got to try and abuse their numbers. How about this for some map control?
Oh. What?
Playing the Information Hunter. If he dies, there's nobody for B. So he's playing for the round win. He's playing to stay alive here. If he's compromised,
Wow.
then it's a larger issue. But it is a big gamble. And
wait a second. How do they know? Did they see a question mark on their radar? This is so interesting that they're so diligent about checking this. They had to have seen something pop up. They are so careful about this. Heroic seem to know that Hunter is here, but they are just passing each other as such.
Found him.
Oh, they caught him. Okay, that feels a little bit unfortunate for Hunter, but now Heroic know that the B bomb site is likely vacated. No real reason that anybody from G2 should be in there when Hunter has made a push such as that, and this is going to be a free site for the taking. And did you find out what's going on with what's with the question marks on the minimap?
Not yet. So for those of you at home, I was recently wondering what is the what are the requirements for a question mark to appear on the radar? And I did send a message to the CS developers recently asking what causes that. I'm hoping to get a response from soon. They did reply to my clip of Launders explaining air strafing with a Supreme
paddle.
Paddle.
Yeah.
A minute ago, actually. So I'll chase it up. No
Really?
guarantees of a response, but I'm just like, I'm quite interested in what causes that, because we had a scenario on Mirage where on a ramp somebody was kind of looking over a smoke, and it didn't seem like they physically saw the other person. But I feel like there was something on the radar there, which could be just a straight up red dot, but it could be a question mark. But I'm curious as to what scenarios caused that question mark. Anyway, it is buy round time. Heroic with 3 rounds in a row following G2's pistol in the second half means that G2 have a 3-round lead as they pick up the AWP on Armanek. And indeed, that was an unfortunate situation for G2 there. I would have liked to have seen how that would have played out without the information there from Heroic, because G2 were really trying to play to the maximum possible advantage, which is great to see. But maybe another time.
Some deep mollies down banana and mid will force Heroic all the way back to the T steps here. And G2 haven't really taken much ground with those Molotovs, but it will slow down Heroic. And that's always nice to keep the T's at bay, waste some of the clock. This is down, nades up. Small connection on Nexa, but fairly insignificant thus far. 1:10 left on the clock now, and it looks like Heroic will finally go for that banana control. And G2 have only left Nexa here. He's jiggling from CT at this point, so he won't have much forewarning if Heroic do decide to commit. G2 have set up in a very heavy bracket setup.
Have a look at the heat map towards B. In fact, it's not a heat map, it's just red Heroic icons. There's a lot of players here, the entire squad, but there's a big flank as well, and refresh will be deleted. Heroic suddenly on borrowed time as they have to commit to this B bomb site. Nico leading them into a false sense of security, looking for the multi-frag again. Playing for the maximum efficacy are G2 in pretty much every scenario, looking very dangerous indeed as Heroic are cut down one by one on this B bomb site. Just 1 kill to show for it. Record time flank from G2. You can see Nico is very happy with that. They're focused. They're playing the pace on their T side. On the CT side, they have an idea of what's happening. Again, just playing for the, not playing for like, oh, I've seen someone, let me kill him immediately, but looking for, but what if I can get more than this? Just hiding behind that smoke, staying back, waiting for them to elevate up the stairs and getting 2 kills from it. Marvelous.
G2 are winning the timing game right now. It felt like they knew that at that point, there was no action towards bracket, that it has to be a B play. And that's when Jax decided it was his time to strike, his time to flank, and he's rewarded handsomely for his efforts. And now Heroic, they're going to speed it up a little bit. They don't want to be caught between a rock and a hard place once again. So this time they're going to take control of their destiny. And Jax is here on the short side by himself. Hunter is actually tagged by a smoke. That should be an audio cue for any Heroic players if they decide to push on through. And Tessus is keyed in onto his angle. Jax is able to survive. A push through the smoke from Nico is actually so close to finding a multi-frag, but he is actually met with a headshot. Nexa, he's considering rotating back. Has a lot of utility to slow this push down. He can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, there's a pop flash. And they'll be swinging straight past that smoke grenade. He's got full utility. He could drop a molly or a HE grenade on a default plant spot. Will be the HE grenade. There it goes. The jump throw. And there goes Dawn as well. And when they try again, he could use the molly. Oh, man. Maybe towards the pull position or hit the coffins instead. Gets deleted in the meantime. There could have been more delay on that potential bomb plant, but it could have gone somewhere else as well. Either way, it's a 2 versus 2. Heroic trying to hold on to things here as G2 tries to close in on his first game. They have a crossfire if both players are coming from CT, and indeed they are. They seem confident in that respect, Heroic. Maybe a shadow advantage as well for Shush. Indeed there will be, but Jax wins the duel regardless. Tesesh now, he's low, gets popped by Armanek, and it will be a 13th round for G2.
That was a really tight retake from G2, but it just goes to show how skilled Jax is right now. The fact that he can win that fight despite the shadow disadvantage, he's got to be feeling pretty good about that one. Man on your screen right there is definitely one of the heroes of the previous round for G2. Him and Nexa both finding the multi-frags. And Nexa playing the waiting game. Thought he could have used the utility to slow that B push, but Heroic likely could have just waited the utility out, decided to hit the bomb site after. He waits to use his grenade to kill the planter in Stown. And that kind of nade meta for the planter has become really prevalent here on Inferno especially. It's almost like how Vertigo, it's kind of a thing on the A site where people like to nade while players are planting. But good chip damage early as Refresh is down to 72 before seeing a single player.
Regardless of who wins this map, I think we're in for a very good series between these two squads. Nice response on top mid, but Heroic have taken map control, and again, looking to bundle if they do commit to this with all their players. Simply abuse the numbers game. There'll be space created for G2 though to try and separate the numbers of Heroic, having to force them through a smoke grenade. So far so good for Hunter, the transfer and the bomb as well. Third player deleted. Cadian's been spotted, down to 10 HP. There's a swing, 2 plays in library. Aggression being shown by G2. Refresh finds himself in the pit. Less than 20 HP combined for these remaining Heroic players. And G2 sit relatively comfortably, 470 HP. Hunter with angles towards the pit, looking for his 4th. 45 seconds on the clock. Look how committed the bomb is to the A bomb site. Now they ask questions of where Refresh might be, but Hunter is ready for that 4th one, and G2 are ready for 14.
Hunter has been pretty quiet this game thus far, but that was a round for him to light up the scoreboard. Flawless from G2. Heroic are forced to call a timeout here. They're thinking about their options because this game has slipped away from them. It's 14-8 at this point, but great spray control with the AUG. And one of the benefits of the AUG is that from that distance, that headshot, it's an instant kill. Even without that nade damage, it does full damage. So cool weapon to use on the bomb site. You can see that the Heroic camp right now looks a little frozen, but Tessus is still showing a little bit of life.
Yeah, G2 proving to be a formidable opponent on Inferno. This is the pick of G2. I would expect similar strength from Heroic on Nuke. Storm's got some of the iciest eyes in Counter-Strike. Must be said. See if Heroic can bring the temperature down for G2. They'll need some ice cold headshots with these Tech 9s if they are to keep G2 off of game points. We'll see how they respond to the initial control taken on Banana. You can see on the radar there is a T smoke towards the half wall. That may slow down G2 somewhat. Big flash, Nico starts to fall back. Well, Banana control, more or less, for Heroic early. They may need to use a little more utility to take the top of it. In the meantime, G2 being proactive in the apartments. Have a look at this rotation on the radar.
This is the benefit of having this much of a cushion in terms of round lead, taking risks like this. And G2 is taking full advantage of that. The fact that they already know what's happening. 3 players here on the site. Ominek with the tag. Nico, though, from New Box, able to find a couple of kills, but it's just the site anchors that are doing all the work, leaving just Cadian. He's able to get Nexa, but with 13 HP, he is not long for this world, and Hunter will swing out to take him down. G2 are now on map point.
Yeah, and that was a force buy from Heroic, so it's not going to be much better for them in round 24. $3,000 per person, more or less. Nico with a 3K in that elevated position. Nexa here to clean up as well. 4 rounds in a row for G2, and they're looking good for a 5th. There will be an AK-47 on Stound at the very least. The rest, Desert Eagles for Heroic. They've got utility. They can try to make things close, at least physically, to G2. Try and swarm if they can, if G2 will allow them, and maybe it comes down to that. Well, people got somewhere to be on this Banana position. Storm with 2 kills, and it seems that this game is not done for Heroic just yet. 4 versus 2, but Ominek may have something to say about this. He's got some sound cues. Missed his shot, though. He will go back to the well. Got to be real careful, Heroic, as he comes back out. Tessus will delete him. That's an AWP to be collected by Cadian, I'm sure. Let's see what Hunter chooses to do. He's got 6K in the bank, so he may try to cut down to some more players at the very least and make things expensive for Heroic. And there goes AWP. He will dispose of that immediately. That's a big gun for Heroic. Lost immediately. That's really regrettable for them. Things go from bad to worse in that respect.
Yeah, they can't even buy one in the next round, despite the fact that they are obviously winning this. Hunter takes another down, actually. This is becoming significant at this point, because it's very likely that now in the next round, Heroic will have to buy
Oh,
perhaps one
HG.
Galil. Oh, okay, wait.
But the bomb.
Got some tricks. Oh, no, can't quite reach that.
Good.
Arms not long enough.
The bomb will move the gun as well. He kind of just gave up immediately, but you never know. But I guess it would have sent it away. But anyway, worth checking. Well, Heroic are surviving for now. What's interesting is if they were to win this round, let's say by elimination, then they are likely to put G2 into an eco scenario. And then suddenly this deficit isn't so big. Right now it's 6 rounds, of course. But it could start here. We can see Hunter's got $5,000 in the bank, so there may be another buy in the hole for G2 of some description should things go wrong. I'm sure there's a limit to how many plays they would choose to risk in this round. Oh, they're lining up for Hunter. No respect style from G2, looking to control it on either half. That's a huge pickup for Heroic at the beginning of this one.
Yeah, we'll see if G2 is able to play back into this round or if they just opt for some kind of stack. They still have information towards Banana as Nico is jump spotting. Oh, he spots one. Forced off of the angle. No utility on Nico, so he can't really find a great defense unless he places bullets into skulls. But it looks like it will be a Hall's pop to come out from Heroic. 3 players towards that position. Perfect counter flash timing, though, from Amanek will set up Nexa beautifully, and Jax is able to catch Tessis out of the sky, and Amanek is also there to recover the situation. G2 are all over Heroic at this point, but Shush still remains.
1 versus 2 with 40 seconds. He will plant while he has some cover from the long smoke. He may have to aggress and try and find a kill here to stop G2 from collapsing on him. They're currently both towards top mid, both with defuse kits. There's a molly, which may force Shush from his position, but that would normally be thrown from long. And G2 are headed towards short, so he may avoid that at the very least. Pit will be cleared. He has some warning now. Just needs to isolate the fights. Potential headshot position as he stands up, Shush. There's the first one. Nico remains. Not the person you want to be fighting against. He's elevated position, waiting for the peek, but he's ready for it. 10 rounds for Heroic. This game is not over just yet.
That is such a bold way to play the clutch from Shush. That angle is so disadvantageous from so many different fights, but G2, they gave him the exact fights that he wanted. All in all, a chaotic round, but Heroic are able to weather the storm here, and G2 are forced to pistols in this one. But gotta give credit to Shush. The spirits from Heroic are finally rising at this point. Cadian's got the op. There's good money at this point, and as long as Heroic just keep winning rounds, they should be able to have some solid buys for the rest of this game if they can push it the distance.
Oh, the long creep, and there is rifle support as well. Good start for Heroic. So G2 held on to most of their money, but Cadian cannot hold on to this AWP for long in this game of Inferno. Refresh is here as well. They know there were 2 players in the apartments. Tessis, I think he may have been spotted by Amanek, but with USP, there's only so much one can expect him to do. Nexa has found the AWP. It'll have to be a quick scope if he tries to line up a shot. Of course, the right click would give his position away. He is position unknown at the moment, but he'll be known soon enough. Is he ready for the high ground now? 2 versus 3. He could still just pull out the AWP as well. Indeed, he will do so. Oh. And there is a lovely shot at Tessis looking for a third. And it's Nico left with the deagle. That's not good news for Heroic. Can he make it out of library? Indeed, he can. As the bomb is planted, he may realize that both players are to his right-hand side. Waiting for a peek from double stack. Smoke to create some space. Try and isolate a fight. He's got nothing to lose here, Nico. Nothing at all. Looking for the site player now. And he found him. Not the way he wanted to, though. 11 rounds for Heroic. Just 4 rounds away. That was a dangerous one. That was an eco for G2. They are going to be on the buy once again.
Yeah, looked doable at one point. Nexa finding 2 from the pit. An overperformance from him, but the rest of Heroic just pick it up.
How was that not a headshot?
Yeah, it was so close, but sometimes such as Counter-Strike. And G2 at this point, starting with a 3B early on. Looks like they'll be fighting for some banana control. Cadian just posts up on the angle. Molotov and smoke down. G2 is in control of banana at this point. And they know that. They leave before even spotting it. Heroic's hand may be forced now towards A, and if they go out without doing their due diligence, this could play right into what G2 is hoping for.
Just a one step made in the apartments. Sometimes players will make one step deliberately to suggest it was a mistake, try and bait a rotation, perhaps. Refresh just hunting, though. He is a sentry. Well, Tessa's lucky to be alive at this point. We can see there's rifle support as well. So Heroic have found out the setup towards A without losing any players, which is somewhat fortunate, especially with the tag. 4 players on Banana, 2 on the site itself. And G2 know that they need to find out what may be happening here. They're not shy for a flank. Does anybody head towards CT, or is it 3 players down mid? Hunter is on the way now. Are there counter grenades for G2 on this B bomb site? No,
that's
is
the
the
bomb.
answer. Oh boy, that's huge. 25 seconds as well. Jax needs to stay alive to hold the rotation. He's got Armanek with the AWP. He's still top mid. 19 seconds. Bombs collected. It has to be now. The flashbangs are here, though. There'll be an exchange. Hunter through the smoke, and just like that, G2 shut it down. So proactive on their CT side. 16-11, defeating Heroic on Inferno.
Great counter utility, great push down mid from Jax. G2 know how to play when they have a lead. They take the right amount of risk and are able to close out Heroic on their map pick.
G2 indeed win their pick of Inferno. Thoughts at the desk, led by